December. Aldrig någonsin förr hade där funnits så många rovfåglar. Den ihållande kylan hade drivit fram dem ur skogarna. De satt på stolparna till fältgränserna och bland kronorna till fruktträden. Kurade ihop sig på de heliga figurernas huvuden vid broar och längs vägskälens altare. Orörliga hukade de sig i vintersolen. Deras konturer som dunkla hotelser mot de snötäckta fälten och den molnfria himlen. Allt var stilla. Is och snö och gnistrande kallt. Den vida dalen och kullarna i fjärran. Allt glittrande i vitt mot den blekblå himlen.
Noch nie waren so viele Raubvögel zu sehen gewesen. Die lange Kälte hatte sie aus den Wäldern herausgetrieben. Sie saßen auf dem Pfosten der Feldbegrenzungen und in den Kronen der Obstbäume. Sie kauerten auf den Köpfen der heiligen Figuren an den Brücken und auf den Kreuzen an den Weggabelungen. Bewegungslos hockten sie in der Wintersonne. Ihre Umrisse dunkle Drohungen vor den Schneefeldern und dem wolkenlosen Himmel. Nichts in Bewegung. Eis und Schnee und die Sonne und kalt. Das breite Tal und die Hügel am Rand. Alles weiß glitzernd und der dünnblaue Himmel. And this part is the whole novel. It's about driving with this underground pushing you into different ways and trying to look smooth all the time. No, I've used unbelievable long research into torture and security industry with a family I know a lot about, and took the last person in this family, the youngest person in this family. He's 20-something person, and so it is a kind of very real thing.
So she worked for the agents of security.
Yeah, she's she's this lost thing, and her aunt, who actually is a very wicked aunt, is trying in real life. This is a real family, and she, in a way, a real person. Actually, the astounding thing happened that after 1 year, I got a phone call, and the person calls herself Lucy English, and she changed the name of the family, and she wanted to meet me because there was things about documents of her great-grandmothers I could have had because I researched her great-grandmother, and then I met her, and she looked exactly like Amy would have looked. So it was kind of a really weird experience. And I asked her, did she read? Does she want to read the novel? And she said no. So I was quite happy.
But really, there are no clues what she looks like.
Of course not. That's one of the That's one of the things. You have to fantasize yourself. There's not a long nose or a short hair or whatever. Hair might be something. Sometimes dresses are important because but the person is always what you imagine and what you.
But the readers are very helpful in that sense. Our writer Kerstin Ekman said once that you don't have to give the reader very much until a full-fledged person is there in their mind.
Sure.
And that's true. Yeah. While descriptions of faces can be very tedious. I mean, the reader has it already.
Yeah. Perception isn't in full sentences. Perception is flashes and things, and so it's about putting perception into language, and so there is a way to know about each other's perception, which we cannot do in any other art. But to become this person is literature the only medium, and that's the reason I love it so much. No, I want to say that I'm so happy that I have this little book, and I have a lot of those at home, and I bring it everywhere and can say this is the most wonderful love story. Please. And you know, we have this. I was so touched when you said that you fashioned it after Max Frisch.
Yes.
And you know, Max Frisch is such, oh my goodness, no, I don't want to read this guy. This is really awful, this awful, larmoyant things. And yours is so fabulous that I hope you don't make this and tell no one anymore, because it stands so much on its own that you don't have to go back.
The story of A Winter in Stockholm was that it started. I started taking notes when my mother lay dying, and I was at her place, living with her, and every night I wondered, will her breath stop now? And then while sitting there and waiting and not, memories of my childhood came up, and I think I started to think about how her life and my life were intertwined. I mean, she was a typical housewife in the 50s and in the 60s. She was a good musician. She could have played, and all her possibilities were so more or less thrown to pieces. And not to make it too dull, I have a parallel story. A parallel story about the daughter's, a short love affair, because the daughter has also been deserted by a man, by her husband. So I tried to, in short chapters, I tried to mingle. I mean, it's a kind of a puzzle. The reader will have to put the pieces there and see what picture comes up. I'm writing a story about divorce, women, what happens, love, and so on.
But very much it's a story about love, and I think not love just to a man, but love itself.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. What is love? I mean, we love individuals mostly, but is love perhaps even a greater force in our lives? Yes.
Are there any things that is difficult to write about as a writer? Are there subjects that you rather avoid or that you have to fight with?
Well, in my case, it's very easy to answer. I mean, I didn't say that this was a biographical story. It is not a biographical story all the way through. But of course, I start from a very biographical situation with my mother, and I use the pronoun she then. But it is obvious that I would not have published this story if my mother had been alive. That's one thing to avoid, to hurt people.
May I say something about the modernism?
Yes, do.
Because I felt the sting.
No, I don't know. Yes, do say something. I would be happy.
I have to keep in mind that we have so different environments. I mean, Sweden obviously is a land of literature, of tradition, non-tradition, whatever. I sat in Vienna in the 60s, in the 70s, and had to decide what to do with the Holocaust. And that's a very different position.
Of course.
So I had to really think about what am I going to do. And I went to English and read Virginia Woolf and James Joyce and thought, this is what I want to do. This is what will give me a brokenness which does not pretend nothing happened. That was the beginning. So of course, until the style was developed.
And they were modernists, of course. Yes.
15 years went into. I published very late, so
did
I
I.
had a lot to work through until I was kind of sure that this is the way you can say it. So, and that means that I say that everything is socially formed. I can do whatever I want. I'm not bound by any of these birth things or these kind of prefabricated rights. So this is, I defend my art.
Shall we?
Tack så mycket.
I think it was a lovely evening.
Yes, yes, yes.